Hello, fans of Sweet Lucidity. It's time to answer your questions. I have gathered hundreds of questions together that you have submitted since the start of the series. I have gathered them into specific categories, and every night I'm going to be submitting a video to where I answer the questions to each category. Those categories include general questions about the series and specific questions related to each book in the series: Sweet Lucidity, Dragonfly, and Silent Requiem, and of course a category that discusses the future of the series. Tonight I'm going to be answering general fan questions that have been submitted, and some of them are most commonly asked. They're asked over and over again. The reason why I'm doing this is because I thought, what better way to kind of quell some curiosity that a lot of y'all have. So I'm going to be answering these off the cuff. So let's go ahead and begin. Yes, I have. I did the whole thing that most new authors do. I wrote query letters. I was very specific. I didn't just send them to anyone, everyone. And also to publishers. And I came to find out that you can't really get to publishers without an agent. I learned that very early on when I wrote screenplays, that your screenplay is one of a million. And when you submit it to a producer, it goes into a box. So you have a 1 in a million chance to actually have it read and have it produced. And that's the same with books. You know, there's an author in everybody. And sometimes it's not so good, and sometimes it's great. I received positive feedback back. However, a lot of them that were interested in the series that actually read it didn't think adults wanted a vampire series. They wanted me to tone it down, water it down, dumb it down for a young adult group. I am very stubborn. What I write is what I want in print. I decline to dumb it down for a young adult readership. And besides, I even look at I have young adult fans. They're intelligent. They're able to comprehend the series. They're able to follow it and keep up with it. And sometimes what they take from it is even sometimes more than what an adult takes from it. I've been pleasantly surprised by my young adult fans. So yeah, I didn't want to change it. I wrote it that way for a reason. So yes, I do. Every post that is made on Facebook page, I will read. I will either respond to it or acknowledge it by liking it. Every email I get through the fan page or to my personal email, I will respond to. Sometimes it takes me a while because I get behind. But I answer every single one. Not a single one goes unanswered. And I love hearing from all of y'all. You know, even though I'm releasing these videos, if you still have a question, even if it's been covered, ask it. I will answer it. Every month I do a search of the internet of anything with Sweet Lucidity, what all of you guys are saying about it. I look on Goodreads, I look on retailer websites, I read blogs of readers. I enjoy every single one. I haven't had a devastating review to sit there and go, oh my gosh, you know, they've been all great. And so even though I would love to sit there and say, oh my gosh, thank you, or answer questions or comment on what a reader took from the series, I don't. That is y'all's personal space. That is your personal opinion. Putting it out there for other readers. You're not putting it out there for authors or me to read. Now, if you write one, and I've had several do this, to let me know they left a review or a post on another website to go read it and give my opinion, I do. And I will respond to you by email of what I thought. You know, I love engaging with readers, you know, that put themselves out there of what they feel about the series. So yeah, you know, I just don't think it's a good way for an author to conduct themselves by going into your territory and responding to what you're posting for other readers. I love this. I get this quite often, and I always smile because I'm like, you notice too? It's humbling, it's exciting, it's amazing, and it's scary. And I'll explain why it's scary. It just lets me know that I just gotta keep working at it and making it better. Everything has to be better than what I put out before. So every book has to be better. Every artwork has to be better. Every trailer has to be better. Every book cover has to be better. You know, so I'm always striving to be better. So the more that you're loving it, the more I want to give to you. And so, yeah, it's scary because it's like, can I give enough? Well, I always satisfy you. You know, that's what I want. I want my readers to be happy with everything I do, you know. And, of course, that's not going to always be the case, but that's my goal. I got 3 ultimate goals. 1, to have it published in print, of course. A lot of you don't have e-readers, but you want to read it real bad. And so, yeah, I want you guys to have it in print. And, of course, having it in print, all of us know who are diehard readers, having that book in your hand, the smell of the page, the sound of turning page, how it gets crumpled over a period of time. And if you're like me, how many times you drop it in the bath and it survives. I want it in print. I would love it translated in several different languages. In fact, every language. There are those of you who are all around the world. Sweet Lucidity has a fan in nearly every country. And in nearly every country, there's a fan that wants it in their native language. And that's what I'd love to give to y'all. I want y'all to enjoy Sweet Lucidity in your native language. Some of the main languages that have been requested is Spanish, Norwegian, French, Italian, German. Oh, Swedish. I don't know if I said that, but Swedish too. I'm working on getting it translated as it is, as an ebook in Spanish and in Norwegian. My third goal for it is, well, let me explain a backstory. Before I was writing the novels, I wrote screenplays. I loved doing it. I loved, you know, doing little shorts in college and everything like that. And I fell in love with screenwriting. I even tried to make my own little horror movie. One of these days I'll post up scenes that I directed for it because they're lots of fun. We all had lots of fun on it. A lot goes into making a movie, and I think I was a little too eager, and I was a little very naive. But hey, it was worth a shot, and we had a lot of fun, and we got something to show for it. But I would love Sweet Lucy to be made into a movie. Every time I write a book, a lot of my screenplay techniques go into it. So that's why a lot of you were able to say, I was able to hear it, feel it, see it, smell it. It played in my mind like a movie. I would love to see the words I write on page as an art form turned into moving images on the screen and how it translates it and seeing it actually play out on screen. That's what I want to see. And a lot of you agree. And so, you know, great. Let's work for that goal. But the first one is to get in print. That's the first step in getting into a movie. And everybody knows that. So spread the word. Now, there's several questions I had to combine with this one because there's several different questions about it. Yes, I'm going to continue the Nook tour. I love Barnes & Noble. I love all they've done for the series. It's one of the retailers that sells the most. A lot of you are Nook owners. Most of you do not know I have progressive multiple sclerosis and degenerative disc disease. The disease has progressed quite rapidly in the last few years, and I am now facing losing the function of my legs. I am going to end up paralyzed from the waist down soon. So I will be bound to a wheelchair. However, bring it on. Hey, I'm up for a challenge. I have an assistant and she helps me tremendously. It takes coordination and organization to get these trips and these visits to where they move flawlessly, everything goes smoothly, and everybody has fun. I do a lot at these meet and greets. I have interactive videos going on, music going on, handouts, giveaways. I really like to interact with my fans. So it takes time, it takes like organization, and while all the Barnes & Nobles are ready, they're just waiting for a time and date. So that has not disappeared. It's just on hiatus right now while I kind of heal from my last surgery. And of course, surgery-wise, I had surgery on my neck to try to save my legs, and it went horribly wrong. It just is expediting the inevitable. I take on any challenge with a smile on my face. Well, the first one I'm going to return back to, of course, do Lubbock. That's my hometown. So when In Silent Requiem is released, I promise somebody to come back. That way I can see all of you Lubbockites who are fans of the series. Since now there's a whole lot more of you, I want to meet all of you. And the same goes most every major city in Texas. So I'm going to be pretty much doing Amarillo, Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth, Abilene, Wichita Falls, Arlington, San Antonio, Austin, Galveston, Midland, Odessa. and has a Barnes & Noble, I'm going to be there. Now, I get a lot of questions of asking if I'm going to be coming to other states. The answer is yes. I know where the readership is in mass in these states from statistics and everything of where sales are done, and also on Facebook where all of you are from. So I know which state has more readership than others, and I've been asked about California. Start spreading the word because California's a little low on the list. The readership isn't that large. New York, it's a little bit low on the list as well. New Mexico, way up high on the list. States like Arizona, New Mexico, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Kansas, Colorado, Alabama, Mississippi, Florida, Tennessee, pretty much all the central and southern states are huge readership there. It's far west coast and the northeast coast that the readership is not as high. Spread the word, tell your friends, bring up that readership, and bring your state up on that list, because after I'm finished with Texas, I'm going to the next state with the highest readership. So bring it up. It could be you next. Yes, I have had numerous agents offer to sign me. However, and the same with publishers. However, the issue is they wanted to publish Sweet Lucidity Series as an ebook. There's a problem there. I've already done that. Pretty much I got the feeling that they wanted to do exactly what I was doing and for me to continue all the work. But the Sweet Lucidity Series would be under their imprint or name. What I found out is a lot of authors who find rejection with main agents and popular publishers will end up making their own imprint or becoming an agent themselves in order to publish and to promote their own work. If that fails, they end up trying to find something that they think will bring them popularity or attention to their own work. And so that's why I've declined the agents and publishers who have offered to sign me, because, you know, I'm already doing all the work myself. What I want is a publisher that's going to go, yeah, I'm going to put it in print. Yeah, let's edit it to make it better, but let's not change it. Let's keep this for the fans. Let's do what the fans want. Let's give them what they want. I don't want someone who wants to make it more erotic, young adult, or slap their imprint on it and get a cut out of it when I'm doing the work. So, you know, all power to them, but you know, I'm very stubborn, and I want a publisher that's going to work as hard for me as I'm going to work for them. Yes, I do my own book covers with original art, original concept and design, and the reason why I do it is because you see it a lot with independent authors. They'll release a book with stock imaging. Another author will release a separate book or similar book with the same stock imaging. So it gets kind of weird when you sit there and see two books, two different stories, two authors, same image. So yeah, you know, that doesn't look good. As for book trailers, yes, and I use stock imaging for that, and for several reasons. It's hard enough to make a book trailer, even though it's lots of fun. It's still very cumbersome to put one together. And while I try to put in my own art, pretty much what I have to resort to stock imaging and everything to be able to compose together an original piece, you know. And so do I take pride in it? Do I feel like it's art? Yeah, but it's more for fans to kind of get an idea of what's to come, what the book is about, to gain more readers, and just entertainment. I mean, it's lots of fun. It kind of, I don't know, it's a way for me to make like a mini movie, you know. So yeah, I do make them. However, a lot of artists, you know, are to be complimented for the work that I'm allowed to use for book trailers. The website's not going to be totally just informative. It's also going to be a companion to the series. It's going to have a Wikipedia of characters, locations, events. It's going to have new artwork, backstories, excerpts. And of course, yes, it'll have book trailers and excerpts out of the actual book, and it'll have everything else, but it's going to have more of a guide that goes with the series. But there will even be a section of the website that will highlight, you know, fans' talents all of you have. some of you have really amazing talents, books y'all have written, music y'all have made, poetry y'all do, graphic design, even physical talents like dancing. So there's going to be a website that's just for fans to highlight your talents, because we all start small and we all want to end up big. And it starts with appreciating what another can do and boosting up their talents. And that's what I want to do. Y'all are doing it for me. I want to do it for y'all. I sure hope so. I haven't talked to them about that, but there are several other scents I love for them to make, like Israel, Mexico, Tara Lee from Sweet Lucidity, several from Dragonfly, and there's going to be so many from In Silent Requiem. So the ladies are so creative, so amazingly talented. I love small businesses, and especially they're Texas-based. They love Sweet Lucidity. You know, hey, you know, they're great. Their products are amazing, the best there are out there. And let me tell you, I should know. As soon as there's anything available, it'll be posted on the Facebook page first. Okay. David was a very special friend of mine. He was a childhood friend I grew up with. He was protective and also devastatingly handsome. He was so good looking. And I was in love with him. I loved him with all my heart. However, we remained best friends. There came a time that after I had my son at a very young age, he asked me to marry him, and it was just too soon for me. I didn't want to burden him with being a father and a husband all at once. So I said no. Told him to ask me again someday. And he was going to. However, his life was cut short before he was able to. And he was taken unfairly. And a lot of people lost a very dear friend just because of someone's utter selfishness. But what did I answer yes to? I answered yes, that I would marry him. And to this day, I wish he had had that chance to ask me a second time like he was going to. Because I would have said yes, and I would have my soulmate today. However, because of Sweet Lucidity, I wrote that for him. When we were young, we were fans of Anne Rice, and we would always read her books and everything. We'd watch movies, and he goes, Melissa, if you ever write a vampire novel, because I always said I was going to write one, he said, if you ever write a vampire novel, you make sure you make me one of the sexiest vampires out there. And I did. And of course, it wasn't a far stretch at all. Everybody knew how just handsome he was, how kind, how loving. And so it was very easy to write Sweet Lucidity. It was healing. I was able to get out a lot of feelings and kind of felt like he was with me, you know. So Sweet Lucidity is very personal. And of course, there's more questions about that that I'm able to reveal more about David and the reason I wrote Sweet Lucidity and kind of the backstory behind it. And I will answer that with the questions when I post a video about the questions specific to Sweet Lucidity itself. But yes, David was my soulmate. I love him, I miss him, and my answer is yes, I do. Yes, I plan to release, or I want the books released in nearly every language. Any language a fan read, I want them to have the book in their native language. So far right now, Spanish and Norwegian is what's being worked on right now. And of course, like I said before, German, Italian, French, Swedish. Did I say German? That's a huge one. I'm trying. But right now it's Spanish and Norwegian that are the top languages being requested. At this time, There is 4. However, a lot of fans have been screaming for backstories on some of the characters like Andrew. So that is going to be another book. I don't really have a limit. There's not going to be, okay, I'm done, I'm not going to write anymore. And so I'll let the story finish itself. In a way, I have one book that's going to involve mermaids, and it's not a pretty little fantasy story. It's pretty dark and unlike anything out there. Ghosts, yes, I have a novel that I plan to work on that involves ghosts. No werewolves or zombies, even though I'm a big, huge fan of zombies. I love zombies. World War Z, go see it. It was awesome. Uh, I, yeah. I think zombies have pretty much been mastered, in my opinion. There's nothing I can add to it. There's no story that I want to add to it that hasn't been written already. So no. Werewolves, I'm not really, I hope this doesn't upset anyone, but I'm not really a fan of werewolves. Except American Werewolf in London. Awesome movie. But yeah, I mean, werewolves have been done. And there's, again, nothing I can add to it. So there's no interest there. Nope. I'm not involving any werewolves, zombies, mermaids. I'm not involving any other supernatural creature or identity into the novels. It's just strictly vampires and humans. And of course, my vampires have several different races within their existence. So cold bloods, warm bloods, the changed, so there's really no more room for any paranormal creatures. I think that would just complicate things. First, thank you. I get that a lot. The book reads like classical literature, and probably for a good reason. I'm inspired by Emily Bronte, Charlotte Bronte, Edgar Allan Poe, Shakespeare, Willa Cather, Virginia Woolf, O. Henry, Jonathan Swift, Anna Sewell, Robert Louis Stevenson. There are so many. This list is going to go on forever. That's what I grew up on. That's what where my first books were. So yeah, no wonder, when I write, I try to play with the words. I try to create art with the words. I'm an artist naturally, besides writing. I love art. I love creating it. I love studying it. I'm trying to finish my bachelor's in art history. And so that's probably why. I will always respond to every single email for my entire career as an author, if it turns into a career. Hopefully it turns into a career. Because that would be great. I love writing, and what better way to do what you love. But yes, I will respond to every single email, every single post made on the fan page. I will acknowledge or respond to, and it will always be me. I will never ever have someone else do it, and I'll never ever be too busy. Even if I am too busy, I will always make time, because what makes authors? The readers. And so without readers, you don't have authors. And if I become a success of this and Sweet Lucidity series succeeds, I'm going to always remember, and that is going to be you, the readers. I do often love kind of seeing what readers think. And so if you're interested in reading advanced copies or what's called beta reading, if you're interested in it, email me, let me know, and maybe we can set something up to where you review some of the novels in the series before they come out. You just have to keep it quiet. You can't tell anyone, so yeah, we have to build trust here, if you want to do something like that. That's it for this category of general questions of the Sweet Lucidity series. I want to thank you guys for sending these in. I hope it answers a lot of questions or gives a little insight to the series and to what goes on behind the scenes. And of course, if you have more questions, keep them coming. If you want more information, go ahead and ask me. But next time it's going to be the category of Sweet Lucidity, the first novel in the series, and questions pertaining to that. And it's going to be a long one. So, but thanks for watching. Much love. Thank you for all of your support, and keep it coming. Spread the word. Bye-bye.